Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nadlan Forum Podcast Daily. It's Lior here, your friendly neighborhood real estate tech guy, mortgage bro, all the titles. I know, it's a bit much, but really I just love talking property and markets with you all. Today we're gonna dig into something that's on a lot of folks' minds: international buyers. Now, I know we've done deep dives into things like affordable housing in the South and how local demand is shaping the market, but let's zoom out for a second and take a look at how things are moving globally. So, numbers from Realtor.com just dropped for Q3 2025, and I'll be honest, it surprised me a little. The share of international traffic searching for US homes fell just a touch from 1.6% last year to 1.5% now. Doesn't sound like much, right? But it's actually higher than where we were pre-pandemic. I want to say it was 1.2% back in late 2019. Don't quote me exactly. My memory sometimes gets fuzzy with all these stats. But here's what's really interesting. Why the slowdown? We're still a top destination, but prices in the US have jumped, the dollar's flexing its muscles. And honestly, if you're looking at things from Canada or China right now, yeah, your money just doesn't go as far, especially if you're aiming for those big luxury deals in Miami, New York, or LA. I had a Canadian client recently, super sharp guy looking at a place in Miami. Had everything lined up, but then with the exchange rate flipping and all sorts of new capital controls back home, he just paused. You could see him weighing, is this really the best time to make a move? So if you're feeling deja vu from our earlier episodes on how even US buyers are wrestling with big prices and tight policies, it's pretty much the same vibes, just with extra currency headaches on top. So, net, we've got a small drop in foreign buyers hitting the search button. But make no mistake, compared to before COVID, there's still plenty of global appetite for US real estate. The nature of that demand, though, well, it's starting to change under the surface. Now, let's talk about where these buyers are still looking because, man, the pecking order hasn't changed much, even if the players are shifting their strategies. Miami, still king of the hill, grabbing 8.4% of all foreign online search traffic. It's wild. When I first came to New York, everyone kept saying Miami is the America of the world, and honestly, it tracks. Luxury condos, crazy rental potential, awesome weather. I get the appeal. New York follows at 5.6%, then Los Angeles at 4.8%. Not exactly a shocker, but if you break down who's looking and what they're after, things get more interesting. Price gaps tell us a lot. Take LA, for example. International buyers are checking out homes that are, get this, 173% pricier than what the locals are shopping for. That's like looking at a Tesla when your neighbors are buying used Hondas. New York has a big gap too at 49%. But here's something I keep repeating. Austin's on the list now, and for totally different reasons. International interest there is tied way less to old school luxury and way more to tech jobs and innovation. My Silicon Valley friends joke that Austin's the new, and apparently overseas folks think so too. The numbers show Canadian buyers still lead the pack, even though their slice has shrunk down to just over 32% from almost 37% last year. That's a big dip, but with their dollar and those new bank rules, kinda inevitable. UK, Mexico, Germany, Australia, they're all in the top 5 countries searching US real estate online. You want specific? Here you go. Florida metros like Cape Coral and Tampa are getting a ton of Canadian clicks, while Dallas and Chicago see a real mix of UK and Mexican traffic. I love seeing the data line up with what I'm hearing from clients. Makes me trust the trends a little more. And I know we keep looping back to Miami in these episodes. Last week, we talked about how affordable housing programs there stack up. And clearly, price is a huge factor for everyone, not just locals. These metro shakeups say a lot about how international investors are rethinking not just where, but why they're searching in the first place. So let's zoom in on what all these shifts actually mean, especially with prices. One thing that really jumped out in the latest numbers: the premium international buyers are willing to pay over locals has shrunk from 34.2% a year ago to 29.8% now. That's not just a rounding error. That's a genuine signal. Luxury demand among foreigners is softening. Median home prices viewed by international buyers are down about 5.2%, but for domestic shoppers, closer to 1.7%. That's a pretty noticeable gap. And yet, the usual suspects, currency swings, global rates, market uncertainty in heavyweights like Canada, China, the UK, all play a part. But there's more. Policy tweaks are starting to bite too. The US is rolling out new Fed programs aimed at attracting high net worth folks and business investors. And at the same time, there are tighter rules on visas and work permits. That mix is wild. I actually just helped a German tech professional negotiate a mortgage on a place in Austin. The whole process was this dance, navigating work visa conditions, making sure we hit all these new documentation hurdles. He was torn between the draw of the US tech scene and the reality that, well, it's not as plug and play as it was a few years ago. The big takeaway? International demand's not vanishing, but it's evolving. This isn't just about trophy homes anymore. It's about value, stability, and honestly, lifestyle fit. Almost reminds me of what we saw in those previous episodes about how US buyers are rethinking dream home expectations, focusing more on longevity and less on flash. Looking ahead, my sense is we're in for a less speculative, more balanced market. Still plenty of global interest, but folks are getting sharper, more selective, and more aware of all the policy and pricing changes swirling around. Okay, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining me, and if you want more of this real talk, stay tuned. Same channel, more episodes coming soon.